This is the Morning Swim Show for Tuesday, January 11th, 2011. I'm your host, Peter Bush. In the Fenice Monitor today, we'll talk to Charlotte Davis. She broke 8 Masters swimming world records in 2010, but she also has a decorated history with another aquatic sport. Charlotte joins us right now in the Fenice Monitor from Seattle. Hey, Charlotte, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, Peter. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, we didn't realize before we chatted before this interview that you were the first ever U.S. Synchro swimming Olympic coach?
That's correct, 1984 Los Angeles Olympics.
Now, tell me about your background in synchro before we get into your fast swimming nowadays.
I started synchro when I was quite young and did it through my college years, and then I came back and started my own team here in Seattle. I went down to California, Santa Clara, because that was kind of the hub of synchronized swimming at the time, and then I came back and started my own club here in Seattle. And I raised a couple of really fabulous swimmers, Candy Costi and Tracy Ruiz, and they became quite talented and quite good in the sport. And by the time the '84 games rolled around, they were on top in the United States, so they earned the birth right to be the first Olympic soloist and duet in the games in '84, and they came home with 2 gold medals.
Yeah, and they won the gold, and you have since been a part of several Olympic, U.S. Olympic synchro teams, right?
That's correct. After that, I became the national team coach and national team director for U.S. synchronized swimming, and I attended 4 more Olympic games all the way through 2000.
So you've got a background in synchro. Now you're a great master swimmer. Is it just having great lung capacity? I mean, how did you make the transition?
Well, I was an age group swimmer for a while when I was 10, 11, 12, and then I focused on synchronized swimming. And then I came back. I discovered masters swimming when I was about 35 years old, and I decided that that would be a really fun thing to go into. And I discovered this great team here in Seattle, and so I joined the team. And we have a great coach, Robin O'Leary, who is very, very good in her own right as a swimmer. And she's coached us since I was 35 years old, so several years, I won't say how many. And I think that contributes a lot to my success, as well as the background in synchro. Getting the correct feel for the water, the sculling background from synchronized swimming is also very helpful.
Yeah, I would say, you know, as a synchro swimmer, spent a lot of time just developing that feel for the water, as you say. I guess that could definitely be good training for any swimmer.
Exactly, exactly.
We want to clear up an urban legend we were talking about here before the interview. We had heard that a synchro swimmer once dove into the water and was able to stop themselves with the power of their hands before their feet even went in. True or false, to your knowledge?
I think that's an urban legend.
Okay. We figured that one was just about impossible, but I imagine you've probably seen some amazing feats from synchro swimmers. Any that come to mind?
Well, I think what's changing today is the acrobatic moves that are done in synchro, where the team is unable to use the bottom of the pool, so it's all their own effort that they throw and lift people out of the water, and actually they get up to 15 feet high, throwing and ejecting somebody out of the water, and they do flips and spins and many diving type moves in midair. And so that's kind of the spectacular part of synchro that's really changed since the early 80s.
And the balance of power has changed a little bit. Since your girls won gold in '84, America is no longer the best synchro country.
That's true. Russia has really taken over as the leaders in the sport, and we're falling a little bit behind, but we're working hard to try to catch up too.
Finally, just about you as a swimmer, as we mentioned at the beginning of this show, you broke 8 Masters World Records in 2010. Do a lot of IMing, so you can obviously do all the strokes, and you just aged up You know, you're 60 and you look great at 60. You got a few more years to break more world records. I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
Well, I'll be working hard to try. Yeah, I've been doing some weight training, which I think really helps. And along with the great coaching, it's possible that maybe a couple more. Maybe.
Well, that's a very modest Charlotte Davis joining us in the Finish Monitor. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, that's it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.